So today we are going to use our oxidation rules to be able to solve an acidic or basic solution as a redox reaction. So first let's go over our oxidation rules. So first we know that an element by itself is going to be 0. So in this case, if we have O2, for example, we know that oxygen in its normal state is going to be 0. This could also be H2. That would be a 0 for the oxidation number as well. Our second rule is that monatomic ions, which would be just an ion like this, except it will have a charge, will have the oxidation number will be the charge of the ion. So in this case, Fe2 plus is going to have a +2 oxidation charge. The third rule is that oxygen will always be a -2 charge. There are a few exceptions like H2O2. Again, oxygen will be a -1 charge in this case, and O2, as we see up here again, that'll be a charge of 0. The fourth rule we can go over is that hydrogen is going to be a +1 charge. And hydrogen is also in the group 1 on the periodic table, so we know that all of group 1 will have a +1 charge. Fluorine is going to have a -1 charge. And the sixth rule we can go over is that group 2 will always have a +2 charge. We can use these 6 rules to be able to determine basically any oxidation number for any ion. So let's put it all together and let's try one. So SO4 2-. We're going to try and solve the oxidation numbers for sulfur and oxygen. We know that oxygen is a -2 charge. Since I have four oxygens in this example, I'm going to take 4 times a -2 to get a total of -8 charge for oxygen. Now we also see that SO4 2- has a -2 overall charge. So in order to figure out sulfur, I'm going to make an equation in sulfur. So I have sulfur plus our -8 charges for oxygen, and we have a -2 overall charge. When I solve this, I'm going to get sulfur to be a +6 charge. So now, let's have an equation here. So I'm going to have MnO4- plus Br- to react to make MnO2 plus BrO3-. Now, we are going to try and balance this as an acidic solution and a basic solution. So first, let's go through and put all the charges with all of the ions just like we practiced. So we know oxygen is a -2 charge. Since there are 4 of them, again, it gives us a -8 overall charge. But then we have this little guy up here giving MnO4 a -1 overall charge. So the charge of Mn has to be +7. Br-, this is like our second rule, that monatomic ions with a charge are going to have the charge of the ion. So Br- will have a -1 charge. Oxygen is always -2. Since there are 4 of them, we have a total of -4 charge, so Mn has to be a +4. And BrO3-, again, oxygen is a -2 charge. Since I have 6 of them, because -2 times 3 is -6, we have an overall charge of -1. Br has to be a +5. Now that we have done that, let's go through and balance this as an acidic solution. So the first rule we have in this is you're going to balance the elements. So what this means is I have to break up this reaction into 2 separate equations. So I'm going to do MnO4- reacts to make MnO2, and then also I'm going to have Br- reacts to make BrO3-. I did this because that way I can balance the elements and both Mn's are in one equation and both Br's are in one equation. So now if we're going to try and balance this, we see that both Mn's technically have a little 1 in front of them, so they are already balanced out, and both BR's are the same way. So our second rule here is that we are going to use water to balance out our oxygen. So on this side, I have 4 oxygens, and on the right side, I only have 2. So that means I'm going to add 2 waters to give this side 4 total oxygen, and the left side 4 total oxygen. So now our oxygens are balanced out for the top equation. Let's do the bottom. We see that we have 3 oxygens on this side, so I'm going to have to add in 3 H2O on this side. Now, our third step is that we are going to use hydrogen to balance our hydrogen molecules. So, we have 4 total hydrogen molecules on this side, and we have none over here, so this will make it nice and easy, and we're just going to add 4H plus to this side. Again, we have 6 hydrogen on this side because 3 times 2, we have 6 total, so I'm going to add 6H plus to this side. Almost done. So the fourth step, what we would do is we would find out our electrons on both sides and make sure they're balanced. And what I mean by this is, so we have a total of 4H plus over here, and we have 1 minus charge. So 4 plus and minus 1 is going to give us a total of a plus 3 charge. Now, on this side we have no charge at all, so this comes to a charge of 0. So on this side I'm going to have to add in 3 electrons to make them balance out. For this side, water is neutral, so it'll have a charge of 0, but we have a Br minus, which is a minus 1 charge. Then we have on this side, we have 1 minus plus 6H plus, so we have a total of 5, plus 5 charge. So to get this guy down to negative 1, I'm going to have to add 6 electrons. So now we have our electrons in, but they are not balanced. So what I'm going to have to do is take this whole reaction times 2 to make sure they balance out. So I'll write that one down here. So I have 6E minus plus 8H plus 2MnO4 minus reacts to make 2MnO2 plus 4H2O. Now down here I'm just going to rewrite the bottom one. 3H2O plus Br minus reacts to make BrO3 minus plus 6H plus 6E minus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these steps together here. So the electrons will cancel out, and that's what we wanted them to do. And down here I have 6H plus, so I'm going to get rid of those, and that will leave me with 2H plus up here. I have 3 waters down here, so that means I'm only going to have 1 left up here. So now I'm going to write all of the stuff on the left side of the reaction. So 2H plus 2MnO4 minus plus Br minus is going to react to make 2MnO2 plus BrO3 minus plus H2O. We would stop here if it was acidic, because we see that we have 2H plus right here and water over here. That would make an acidic solution. So if we had to balance it to be basic, all you would have to do for balancing a basic solution is add OH so your H pluses cancel out. So I'm going to add 2 OH minus to this side, and whatever I add to the left, I must add to the right. So I'm going to add 2 OH minus and rewrite that down here. So these two together will make 2H2O plus 2MnO4 minus plus Br minus reacts to make 2MnO2 plus BrO3 minus plus H2O plus 2OH minus. Now we know that this is a basic solution because we have OH and H2O only left over. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a practice problem, and I want you to balance this as an acidic solution. So now you can pause the video and try this one on your own. Hopefully you came up with the answer of 2H plus 2NO3 minus plus 2AS2O3 reacts to make N2O3 plus 4H3ASO4 plus H2O.